Welcome into Devon's Table. I'm Devon O'Day.
I'm Sylvia Gaynor.
And today we're going to talk about our sponsor, Amber Falls Winery, and the prettiest bottles. They have the prettiest bottles, don't they?
I love the shape of this bottle. It's one you'd want to keep for a long time.
I know, it's like a souvenir bottle, but you can also, it's like a souvenir you can actually drink and enjoy.
Yes. This was so lovely and light and surprising to be a dessert wine.
I love it. And when people say dessert wine, it's not like you just have wine as dessert, or you could, but what do you mean? So do I, but I wasn't talking about that kind of thing. When they say a dessert wine, the glass or the what you drink from is very important.
Yes, these are typically very sweet wines. Not just like a Riesling or a sweeter type of wine, but concentrated sweet wines. So you only drink a little bit, and they also are usually much higher in alcohol content. So you want to only drink a little bit, otherwise you will be disrobing.
Well, if that's your game, we can do that too. Not we won't, but your people. Y'all can do that, but that's up to y'all. We're going to just show you what to do and what kind of glasses, and we're going to taste this luscious wine from Amber Falls.
So, different types of sweet wine glasses. This is a coupe style glass. You typically could use it for champagne, but this is a very small one. These are antique glasses, so they're little. So don't get a modern type of coupe glass and think, I'm going to fill up this big glass with the dessert wine. That is not what you would want to do. If you're going to do that, you're going to pour right to the neck of the glass. And what's really cool about this wine is it smells like pecan pie.
Okay, Louisiana pecan pie, I'm going to see. Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it goes wonderful with chocolate.
See how that works?
So this is a standard dessert wine glass, as is this one. This was the avant-garde. I gave it to you because that just suits your personality, right?
It does.
So I'll just take this little guy here on the end. And again, you're only pouring a couple of ounces, 2 to 3 ounces of dessert wine for the first pour.
It's like a dose of NyQuil.
There you go, but much better than that.
Way better.
All right, so pick your pleasure. Which one are you going with?
I think I'm going to go with this one.
You're going with white chocolate.
I know, white chocolate. It's not really chocolate.
Well, I think I'm going to go with this one because I think it's going to go well with the nutty flavor of the wine.
Okay, let me see.
Okay.
Wow.
You get the nut flavor that just like jumps out. It's really nice.
Wow, that's so good. I do believe I will.
See, it's so hard to watch us eating and enjoying this. What you really need is to replay this segment after you've gone and gotten a bottle of wine and some chocolate to try it with. And then you can be eating while we're eating, and it's like a community thing.
Where'd you get these chocolates?
These are just a standard little box of truffles.
A standard little box. This is not standard. You're not going to get this at the Eckards. You know, this is awesome. These are delicious. Get you some really good chocolate. Amber Falls. They're at Opry Mills Mall. Get it right there. And this dessert wine, and it has this little nutty flavor. Nutty wine, nutty host. That's what
Nutty
it is.
Farmer.
Well, stay with us. We'll join you at the end of the show.
Nestled in Nashville along the Cumberland River, Green Door Gourmet is a 350-acre organic farm, agritourism operation, and on-farm store. Green Door Gourmet grows a wide variety of fruits, flowers, vegetables, and herbs using holistic organic methods. providing our customers, including local restaurants and florists, with the absolute best direct from the field produce. Enjoy seasonal cut farm flower bouquets all summer long with our Green Door Gourmet Flower CSA. Farm field trips are offered March through October, as well as seasonal cooking classes and on-farm events such as our annual Fall Fest. Our on-farm store features Green Door Gourmet produce as well as products from our farm partners, the area's best local producers, including grass-fed meats, honey, jam, dairy, baked goods, and much more. Our local farm box program allows customers to take home a box with a variety of produce options based on what is growing at Green Door Gourmet. Join us in the spring for the You Pick Strawberry season. Our Countrypolitan White Oak Community Center is the perfect setting for weddings, meetings, farm-to-table and corporate events, and social occasions. Come visit Green Door Gourmet, just minutes from downtown Nashville.
Hello, I'm Mary Weber. I'm the Director of Horticulture at Cheekwood Botanical Gardens. And today we are standing in the loggia celebrating our 5th anniversary of our orchid display. We're very excited about this celebration. As said, it is our 5th. And we wanted to go a little bit the extra mile and really immerse you in a cloud of blooming orchids. Our planning starts for these orchids months in advance, and we come up with our color schemes. So this year, we literally wanted to bring orchids from the floor up suspended to the ceiling, like again, a cloud of orchids. We have chosen certain orchids that do very well in this environment. And we've chosen a lot of Phalaenopsis, which are commonly called moth orchids, and Dendrobiums are in some of our boxes. They're very easy to grow, and the purples and the whites are some of our more classic colors. This year also we picked out foliage that will complement and enhance the color of our orchids. So we have a lot of spathiphyllums and Rosia picta, calatheas, and pothos, and the Boston ferns here. Other than our suspended planters to create that cloud effect, we also have the living panels, and our choices of colors are in a gradient pattern to bring your eye and immerse yourself into the various colors. All the orchids are irrigated with a drip system. However, we do have to do some hand watering as well. Most orchids do not like to be overly wet. It can cause root rot, and that disallows nutrients to go up through the stems to feed your plant. For those of us that like to have orchids at home, not necessarily hundreds of orchids, but that orchid on a table or in a windowsill, I always suggest, a nice mixture with some peat that can hold some moisture, just don't overwater. This particular display here in the loggia has over 800 orchids. A new addition this year was our foyer entrance area. We added orchids along the sweeping staircase to really welcome you and start the orchid experience as soon as you walk in the doors. I hope that you will come and see and immerse yourself in our orchid celebration this year. Not only do we have the orchids here in the loggia, we've got them throughout the house. And the experience is one that I think will really lighten your spirit because they are absolutely lovely and brighten a winter day. Our celebration of orchids goes through March 5th here at Cheekwood, and we would love to see you out here.
help my godfather, my parent, with this Cajun Fest festival that they put on. We're trying to cook some good Cajun food and get everybody full, get everybody fed and wind up and ready for the night.
Carl's going to show us how to properly eat a crawfish.
Take him break from the body part and the tail, twist it. Take the first segment right here, peel it back. Then you kind of just pinch on the end of the tail, and all the meat comes out in the vein right there.
It's that simple.
It's that simple.
And then what do you do? What's the best thing to do with it?
Eat it.
He's got it right. All right, that's good. Thank you, sir.
There are roughly 2.5 million burglaries each year. Police solve only 13% of reported burglary cases due to lack of witnesses or physical evidence. That's one burglary every 13 seconds. Here at Consumer Affairs, we want to prevent that from happening to you. So we teamed with the best home security companies. These companies have thousands of unbiased reviews by consumers like you. Our partners can provide wireless monitored security, motion detection, video, smoke detection, and more. We've done the research for you and collected thousands of consumer reviews, giving you many resources to find a great, trusted provider. Just answer a few questions about your home, what you need protected, and the services you desire to get started finding the right alarm system for your home. Within minutes, you'll be receiving a quote for your home and can make a decision for yourself. Get the peace of mind that you deserve for your home and safety. No matter what season, with Consumer Affairs, your home and family are protected. See why millions of consumers trust Consumer Affairs.
Today I welcome you to Jackson County, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a trip to the western side of the county, and we're going to go to Granville, Tennessee, which is a historic place. It was used a lot in agriculture because it's right on the Cumberland River. Granville is an area where there is Wildwood Resort and Marina. Granville is a historic site, a very popular tourist attraction, and we're also going to go to Cantrell Farms where they have agritourism, pumpkin patch, and there's actually a school group there today, and we're going to visit with Chris and his wife, Kayla, and see what they do in their day-to-day operations. So come on and join us as we head west and go to Granville, Tennessee.
I'm Randall Clemens, and I'm president of the Volunteers of Historic Granville Museum. We have some 230 volunteers that operate our historic town. We're standing in front of the Sutton General Store that was actually built in 1880. Granville was settled in 1799, and our mission to preserve the history of Granville started in 1999 with the Granville Church of Christ Church closing and them giving us the building to start a museum. A year later, a man by the name of Harold Sutton from Mount Juliet came to Granville and found the old store that had been closed for 30 years, and he was able to purchase it, and he restored it, and he operated it some, but in 2007 he gave the store to the Granville Museum with two provisions: that we would operate it as a general store Wednesday through Saturday, and that we would have a Saturday night bluegrass show. We were able to enlist other volunteers and opened in April of 2008 with a bluegrass show that is now heard in every state in the United States, every country in the world, and to our military around the world each week. From that, we were able to purchase Mr. Sutton's homestead across the street and raise the money from volunteers that were able to give us money to do that, and with the Department of Agriculture helping us. And we opened that in 2010, trying to tell the story of agriculture, preserving the history of the Suttons, also trying to take our craftsmen and artisans artisans to another level where we operate a blacksmith shop, basket weaving shop, all types of some 10 different artisans. We now have an artisans gallery in the second floor of Sutton's store where all of our local artisans are selling their merchandise that they have made. We now operate 8 museums here in Granville. We are known as Tennessee's Mayberry Town. We do the Mayberry plays at Christmas, at Valentine's, and in the summer. We have a Mayberry Lucy Museum. We have a Decanter Museum. We do some 8 festivals a year. We begin with Mayberry Lucy Day in April. We have a Cornbread and Moonshine Festival in May. We have our Heritage Day in May as well. We have a month-long Scarecrow Festival. We have our fall celebration, and we are known as a Hallmark movie town at Christmas that we open the middle of November through the end of the year. Granville was named last week as the #1 small town in America with the small town feel, and we are very honored for that award. There was 10 that were chosen, and we were #1 of the 10, and they're all across America, and so we are great that we have that here in Tennessee to be proud of. We have a very detailed website on all of our events and festivals and a daily visit to Granville, GranvilleTN.com. We do a lot of Facebook and advertising as well with that. And so we are open Wednesday through Saturday, Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 3, Saturday 10 to 5. We do serve lunch here at the Sutton General Store each day that we're open, as well as the Saturday Night Bluegrass Dinner Show.
This is the perfect time for me to get our home decluttered and organized from top to bottom, and I'm sharing my weekly routine and some organization and cleaning tips that will hopefully motivate you in partnership with Hoover. Starting with our second story bath, I am removing everything off the counter, and I'm using an all-purpose cleaner, giving the counter a good clean. Spray foam and window cleaner is better than Windex in my opinion, and it's also cheaper. If you don't have them on hand, it's okay. You can use alcohol. It is awesome to use as well. I always give all of our toilets a deep clean at least twice a month using a steamer. This is an attachment off my Shark steam mop that I had for years. My only issue is that I have to use distilled water, and if you don't use distilled water, it will ruin the machine. Disinfection from steam helps to remove the breeding ground for bacteria. I always use paper towels. This way, there's no cross-contamination. I shared the Hoover 1Power Evolve Pet 2 Elite Cordless Vacuum Kit in my last cleaning video, and it comes with a lithium battery and charger, fingertip controls that are really convenient, and the battery indicator light is super useful too.
Irish Music Magazine Facebook Live presents Music City Irish Fest Virtual 2023, a transatlantic virtual experience from the United States and Ireland, broadcasted worldwide over 12 hours this St. Patrick's Day weekend, and proudly featuring on Friday, March 17th, the Byrne Brothers, Ashley Davis, Hillary Kluge, Maeve Walsh, Dan McCabe, She Fiddlers, Sina Thiel and Katrina O'Sullivan, Cara Dillon and Sam Lakeman, a global Irish session from the students of the Online Academy of Irish Music, the Gothard Sisters, Trad on the Prom Dance Show, the Irish Rovers, the O'Neill sisters, Jessica Willis Fisher, and our finale with Alton. And on Saturday, March 18th, Hillary Klug, Aoife Scott, Scythian, Runa, Socks in the Frying Pan, Cena Field, Sholin, Doolin, the Bowties, and our finale with Cherish the Ladies. For start times and notifications in your time zone, visit the Irish Music Magazine Facebook events page from February 24th at TradIMM. Bring the joy of music to your life this St. Patrick's Day weekend. Support the musicians by donating to their concerts and by ordering merchandise from their online websites. Music City Irish Fest and Irish Music Magazine look forward to welcoming you all to our transatlantic virtual experience this coming St. Patrick's Day weekend.
As we head on over to Cantrell Farms.
We're Chris and Kayla Cantrell, and we're in Granville, Tennessee at our farm.
We bought this farm in 2016. It was a century farm, been in one family for 200 years, something like that. Part of a century farm. We do beef cattle, commercial beef cattle, row crop, and we kind of got the idea of doing a corn, maize, and pumpkin patch just due to our vicinity to Granville and all the stuff that they have got going on as far as their fall festivals and stuff. And
we took our little girl to one, the closest one. It was like 40 minutes away, and we saw probably 10 families from our county. And he made the joke, like, we should do this at our farm. And I was like, no way. And then we kept seeing people we knew, and we were like, you know, we do need something like this, and why not us?
My family had some beef cattle. A lot of my family is from DeKalb and Warren County, so they were into the nursery side of stuff. Did some tobacco, not on a whole lot. Then a lot of my uncles had larger operations, so I'd help all of them. Had one family member that did quite a bit of row cropping, and that kind of got me interested in that. And that was kind of always a backdoor goal for me. And then we bought this farm and the cattle, and it kind of led to that. And then this is kind of the third finger off of that. But yeah, I guess my family been in agriculture since I can remember in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
You'd be surprised like how many kids and adults have never been on a farm. Like we had someone come from out of state, I guess, last year. No, they lived in Nashville. And they had never been on a farm. They were amazed that we had cows here. And, you know, they didn't know the difference between a dairy cow and a beef cow. And I don't know, that kind of blew our mind, like that people have never been on a farm, so yeah. I
always knew people were kind of out of touch. A lot of people are, but I didn't really know the scale. And I didn't know how many of those we get here, but we get a lot of people from, you know, the Wilson County area moving, and even travelers are moving in that come stop by, and they're kind of amazed that they're never been on a farm, and I guess that's kind of made my wheels turn about maybe a little more of the education.
Yeah,
of
we
it.
want to get into more of the educational side of it. Like I would love to have someone come and teach about bees, because bees are such an essential part of, you know, any kind of crop, and how the bees work to pollinate, you know, to grow the pumpkins, and just make that, because a lot of people don't even know that.
Yeah, we might try to do some presentations. I know a lot of people bring their kids to play, and that's kind of what they're into. But the education's kind of, I guess both of us kind of sparked, because it you know, it bothers me that people don't know where their food comes from. And that's another thing too. I want my kids, you know, grew up around a farm, on a farm. I want my kids to know where their stuff comes from, and I want them to be able to answer the questions that people don't know, people ask. Like, you know, because the next generation, them, is going to be even farther disassociated with agriculture. So, you know, it's important to me that they know and can inform people about what it means and what it is, especially in this area, because it's, you know, we're getting a lot of move-in people, and I welcome them, but I want them to be educated too about what goes on here, because it's not just like somebody told me, it's not riding around in a tractor cashing checks. It's not what it is. You know, it's, you know, there's a lot more to it, and people don't know that. When they drive by, they don't know that.
And it's hard because this is a working farm. He still
uses
it.
That's
So
the thing that we
have to close it off, or, you know, close part of it off for this in the fall.
Yeah. So the expansion, even thoughts of expansion, we sometimes kind of go back and forth about which way to go, where to put stuff, just because I still use it every day. I mean, people, you know, we're working here today. You know, we got this group here, so I mean, it kind of gets to be a trade-off, and finding that balance is going to be kind of the main thing that we're going to have to work on, to find what's best for both of them, because we want to keep growing this, but we also want to grow our other operations too, and keeping those. Because everything, you know, we're cutting beans right now and doing this, so everything happened in October is my busiest month.
It's going to be open next year in October, maybe September.
We've got some ideas, a lot of ideas for the future, and our scheduling for this is going to be based on how the calendar kind of falls. But I try to, she does, try to keep something on our social media pages pretty regular to keep us relevant. It's a commitment. I mean, it's a huge commitment that even, you know, last year I was still working a public job. She was pregnant. I had 400, 500 acres of row crops, and I had a couple people working for me, and then we started to do this, and it was rough. You know, it was rough, because there's stuff that, like with anything in agriculture, there's stuff that pops up that you don't even think about.
I don't think there's competition, because for me as a mom, like, I would take my daughter to all the local, you know, corn mazes and pumpkin patches. I think there's room for everybody.
One of my college friends, I went to MTSU, lives outside of Franklin. They run Hatcher Family Dairy, and he told me, you know, when they started, they told them location. Location is the main thing. If you've got 100 acres of the most beautiful property in the world, but it's 200 miles away from everything, you got to think who's going to be able to come.
And I don't know that we would be as successful if we weren't right next to Granville and all they have going on.
Yeah, Granville is, you know, they're a big tourist attraction, and they have a big fall event, and they push that. So, you know, that means a lot, because if we were just out here, I don't know, you know, nobody wants to come. You don't want to come here unless you're coming here for something. That's just, you know, there's nothing here.
But Jackson County, I mean, we really hit at a good time, because Jackson County is getting...
Jackson County is experiencing a great growth. They've got the
Chamber of Commerce is doing so much here right now, and they've helped us, and there's just all kinds of stuff going on here, so people can kind of make it an all-day thing. Come here, you know, go to Wildwood, go to the Bull and Thistle. There's Spooky Hollow. There's so much going on here right now, so I think that's helped us.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's good to feed off that. You know, I know we posted last year, you know, come see us, then go to the barn sale, then go to Spooky Hollow. And, you know, you can, if everybody does that, it just helps everybody else out. Because it's not a competition at all. You know, everybody wants to do good.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd. The goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Don't miss a minute of the action this season. Visit NashvillePredators.com/tickets to get your seats today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets. And we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you will enjoy some dessert wine, and maybe that's something different for you. Thank you to Amber Falls Winery for providing such great selections of wines, both at their tasting room and Opry Mills. I've never been, but we're getting to the time of year when we go into toward the springtime. After Mardi Gras, they start having some very special things down at Hampshire, Tennessee. AmberFallsWinery.com to get all the information. Field trip. We can stay there. They've got an Airbnb. Pretty cool. And Cajun Fest coming up in the spring. Woo! So good, so good. Hey, what is going on at Green Door Gourmet? Can they go and buy some wonderful things for spring coming in as we start moving into the spring months?
We are ready to be rid of winter and have beautiful things coming in from the fields, lots of new local products, some great new baked goods, all kinds of great discoveries.
Have you started putting things in the little containers to start the seeds growing yet?
Oh, yes.
See, there's always something growing at Green Door Gourmet. Check it out, greendoorgourmet.com, located on River Road, just west of town. Thank you for your time. Always, I learned so much from you.
Well, it's always my pleasure.
If you're looking for a blessing, everyone, remember, you gotta first be one.
When you feel lost and running away.